This is absolutely amazing work, showcase of Schumann's many guises, his humor and his charm. He's the only composer from the whole music history who turned the genre of toccata, enriched it with a special content. Well, toccata was always something accented, mechanic, motoric, on which we sharpen our technique, the sense of rhythm. Schumann turns toccata into the endless glory of work, creative labor, and expressive joy of being. No one ever succeeded in doing such a thing before. I'm amazed by his ability to imbue the whole of this form with such rich content. It becomes almost impossible to rationally decompose, analyze, or decode, because it's beyond the elemental, between the notes, in spirit. It's just the usual figuration of toccata. But the combinations and chains of this figuration is built such a way that we start to smile and feel the joy of life, joy of creative labor. He has the same thing in humoresque, but not as bright expressed as here. But all his life he was going to this point. Probably it was only was created by German genius, because there is no nations, this is my own opinion from my own life experience, I think no one nation doesn't have it and never expressed in it such an attitude towards creative labor as Germans, when the creative labor becoming a sense of life, the meaning of life, and the joy of being. Just look at this. The simple combinations, ordinary chords. He asks sempre brillante, which is very brilliant. This is the first phrase of our death theme, by the way. Look. Only expressed in major and divided into chords. Next we'll see the second phrase, which echoes the first phrase. Combining them together, we get a hymn to life, health, and work, based on the theme of death. Schumann gradually transforms his idea, materializing it and then turning it into life. Then the theme of death becomes the theme of joy of being, the theme of the joy of creative labor, the theme of joy of life and creation. Yes, and filled with such humor that in every figuration there is some prompting to smile, to love, to celebrate the hidden within. There is no other way I can express it. And then it develops and comes to the theme of death, only in major. It's becoming the theme of being, the victory of being. That's what it was in the beginning. Here it is. Turned to glory with lots of humor. It does mean that through very funny modulation, he's just shifting it, starting the topic in different key. If only to emerge from this topic with such a wonderful musical laugh, a real laughter. So musicians really should emphasize this. We all have to laugh here of the being, of life, of joy of being. Just look at this. The humor is hidden here, in eighth notes, between the tones, after literally the Gloria. This is indeed completely comic, positively humorous return to the previous material, expressed here through the use of the chromatism. It is so subtle, this humor, that you have to perform a more thoughtful examination of the material to totally take it in. The humor of more intellectual, more thoughtful, less obvious. Pay attention to the Schumann's musical thought process. Don't overthink it. It's humor. Humor of the highest level, and the theme of Gloria becoming joke. And charming cadenza when it's becoming the physiological pleasure. So now we can imagine that it could be played on the crazy rock guitar by rock guitar masters. It's so charmingly done. It can be beautifully placed also in the orchestra. If we give it to cellos and double basses together, it would be wonderful color. But this is what I want to say. This is this virtuosity which should be slightly touched and sparkle a little through the entire structure of this multi-story building, and by no means should be overplayed as a virtuoso exercise. Musicians must take care not to overload the piece with overt pennies, because all this pianism, all this virtuoso stuff, it's in our for modern man it's not a big problem. We can double, triple it, no problem. We can do it. So no virtuosity, just charm, laughter, and beauty. The wonderful glory of life and an expression of the happiness of being.